mark a line at 50 millimeters and another line at 50 millimeters. Then using a safety rule. Now I don't have a safety rule, but I am going to use this piece of wood. The same idea, I can put my piece of wood on there like that, and then I'll run my knife down there, but this bit here forms a barrier so that my knife won't slip and take my fingers out. So I've got that, place it on my cutting board, place my safety rule on the lines that I've marked and run the line straight down it like that. And I'll do it again, like that, and hopefully it will have cut all the way through. However, you may find it hasn't quite on mine. So this time I hold it there and run my knife there. Notice the way my hand is behind the knife. That is really, really important. You cannot let your hand go in front of the knife. So if I do that, that should come down there and that should come off there like that. As soon as I've finished, slide the knife away and put that there. Okay, so that's 50 millimeters wide. You'll need one at 50, one at 35, and another one at 10 millimeters. The next thing is to mark it out where you want to score it. And that is 120, 70, 120, and 70 again. And on this particular case, you can see there that I have actually marked those lines out on there already. Accuracy is going to be essential. Decide which side is going to go on the inside and which bit's going to go on the outside. Now in my particular case, this particular bit of card already has a slight groove down there. So I'm going to score on the outside there. Take my knife, take my safety rule, and lightly score across here, across here, across here, and the last bit, I'm just going to cut this bit off here all the way across, like that. And then if I crack it, it goes 1, 2, 3, like that, and I can put them together, and if I've done it accurately, it should look fairly square like that. Okay? Now, the last bit I need to do before I do the gluing is to take that bit out there. So to do that, take your steel rule, measure again, this time at 35 millimeters. Notice the way I go, put 2 marks on here, 1 and another one there, 2, and put that across there like that. So you can see that on there, 1 mark there, another mark there, and then put the line across it like that. I'm going to cut that bit out. You could use scissors and cut down. And that's what I'm going to do now. You can see that on there. I'm just going to cut down there like that. Now you'll notice that when I get to the very end, scissors don't always cut right into that corner, because the tip of the scissors there don't have the best sharp bit. So again, with my knife, fingers well away, I just go in and in like that. And that should give me that cut nicely like that. And you should get it, if you've done it accurately, perfectly rectangular. What I'm going to do now is a little trick. I'm going to take an elastic band and I'm going to hold that together. Notice I'm doing this before it's wet. Right? In other words, before I've put any glue on it. That's just so that I get used to it. And if I have problems, which I'm just having a few problems now, I can just, I've got time to put it right. Notice the way the elastic band just holds it beautifully like that. So you've got your elastic band around it like that, okay? And it's holding it nicely in place. I can now take a bit of a card. Doesn't really matter what the card is. That happens to be an old birthday card. And I can put that onto there like that. I know that that is going to all glue together quite nicely. So that's what I'm going to do next. To check the glue, to check it's square, take your steel rule and measure the diagonals. That's 135 and that's 135. So across there, that should be 135 and 135. It should be equal. So now that I know that that is correct, I am going to take that elastic band off. So I've dry clamped it first. Here I've got my PVA glue. It's just on an old yogurt pot. Bit of card to use as a spreader. So I'm just going to run that down there like that. And run some glue along the bottom like that. And like that. And like that all the way along. Just a little bit of a dab like that. With a bit of luck, that should work. So I've got glue all the way along there now. And I can place that onto here. Bit too much on this bit, so I'm just going to whip that bit off there, put it back onto there. Okay, put that back onto there and hold it in position like that. Put my elastic band around it just to pull it tight so it's a nice stretch over the top. Let it go. If you remember, I said check out the diagonals. 135, 135, let me just check that again. This one's not quite right. Just check that again. 135, beautiful. And 135 there. That's really great. You can see that is now on there like that. And I'm just going to grab something like a pencil case, pop that onto there, and that should hold it just whilst the glue actually takes.